April 9th. It's April 9th, Gino, Thursday. It's the Breaking and Entering show. It's marketing. It's the news show that marketing deserves, Gino. Live today. We're live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every week. So today's Thursday, so we're live. How are you doing?
Good. We had trivia last night here, Jack, and had a lot of fun there.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
We did trivia last night as Breaking and Entering an event last night in Chinatown here in New York City. Had a lot of fun, a lot of great people that came. So if you came, thank you so much for showing up and showing out on a Wednesday. I know we're all busy.
The big winner, besides Air HQ, Air Inc., who hosted us, the big winner, Goodby Silverstein Partners. Their team won it, Gino. Shout out to you all. And today, also Thursday, it's Masters weekend, Gino. Its own marketing spectacle that we can spend a couple seconds here talking about. The odds-on favorite, that's not the right word, but the favorite to win is Scottie Scheffler.
Okay, I like that. He won't get arrested on his way there. That's what happened last time.
Yeah, I don't know if it was at the Masters. I think it was at a different major where he got arrested, but he shouldn't have gotten arrested.
How long is the Masters?
4 days.
Okay, so I'm going to reveal one of my masters of marketing right now for the show. I have a list of what I believe are the best marketing moments. And for this one, I'm going to say the Sphere. The Sphere itself is one of the best pieces of marketing, like advancements in marketing, I think, of all time, with all the ads and activations that are on that Sphere. Thoughts on that, Jack?
Oh, it's great. The ROI on the Sphere they had to have already broken even on building it with the amount of media partnerships that they've done with it.
For sure.
The most recent one that comes to mind is the Super Bowl with Coinbase.
Yes.
The Super Bowl Coinbase. They put the karaoke onto the Sphere. Yeah. After the commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's great. Does the Masters make the Masters of marketing?
Maybe.
It's
pretty
good.
Currently on it. I do like how they make a lot of their money on site. They don't do a lot of you can't buy any gear from the Masters. You have to be at I think that's an interesting element. It adds that exclusivity, if you will.
Yeah, it's the old timers have accidentally stumbled upon great marketing by keeping it exclusive.
Yeah.
They weren't doing that to the same way that a New York City club creates exclusivity by having a fake line. They did it because they're actually that old-timey, and they have respect for tradition, and it just so happens to end up being something that's super great marketing. The Masters social media team is one of the best in the biz. Really? They do a great job. They'll put out, over the course of this weekend, probably over 1,000 pieces of content, and it's all very, very good. Can we I can't be having Gino do the pen click into the mic. We just can't. That's on me. That is a cardinal sin of the live game. But with that being said, let's get into the 2-minute drill, Gino.
Let's do it.
It's the biggest marketing news stories of the day that everyone needs to know. We go through each topic one by one, 2 minutes each. Let's get it going right now. Timer starts. First things first, Gino, Coca-Cola FIFA ad. What do you got here?
All right, so Coca-Cola spot here. It's actually, I think, backing it up here, it's a 5-decade partnership between Coca-Cola and the World Cup by FIFA here. And they have a series, they have a campaign going on. There's 2 spots out already, but they just released Uncanned Emotions, the second film within the trifecta, if you will. This one was made by Ogilvy and WPP OpenX. They brought in Peter Drury and Omar Tapia, who are the announcers for the World Cup, super famous, and did this beautiful spot here, highly emotional.
Is there any way to play it while we talk about it? It's pretty good. I imagine it's in the sheet, Ross, for a 2-minute drill, but it's a big time ad, and I saw someone from Ogilvy said it's an amazing thing when the product is the ad itself. And so the Coca-Cola can is kind of the main character here, and it's on full display if you want to check it out. I don't know if we'll be able to show it right now, but thoughts on Coca-Cola, thoughts on Coca-Cola working with FIFA. I like what they do here, where it's a lot of people looking thirsty and sweaty and watching the games and drinking Coca-Cola.
Tapping in those 2 folks, the announcers that are so integral to the World Cup and that have that recognition is really smart. But it's also a universal fandom that they're tapping into. I got a little tidbit for you, Jack, on this spot, a little secret thing here. If you watch this spot back at home, and you listen to the narration, and then you also watch the bottle itself, it's actually matching what the narrative is saying.
Right, yeah.
What's happening with the bottle is happening in the narration. I thought that was a nice little touch there.
Yeah, the Coca-Cola can is the main character. Everything that's happening in the commercial is around what's happening in the Coca-Cola can, kind of like side by side with people actually watching the game. So it's interesting. These things are always, I think, my takeaway from this was I watched the full, 90 seconds.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those that really works when it gets cut down. Like I think if you watch the 90 seconds all the way through, it might feel like it drags a little bit. But but from a consumer standpoint, you're only gonna watch the whatever cut down gets fed to you.
Is Coca-Cola the most recognized brand in the world?
It's
got to be one.
It's got to be. Well, a little technical malfunction, Gino. But the next story here for us is RPA wins Acura creative work. The headline from Ad Age from eScoops is around the Omnicom side of it. But it's like in sports, they always say, like, did this team win the game or did the other team lose the game?
And I think Omnicom lost this game, Jack, because if you think about it, MullenLowe, which was IPG and now is part of Omnicom, obviously, MullenLowe had the account for over a decade. They had the creative account, but the article is stating that Omnicom couldn't figure out a place to place the Acura account in the creative ecosystem.
Yeah, and then you see, the other side of it. RPA already works with Honda, who owns Acura,
right.
And so they, it feels like a pretty easy transition for them. So whether or not the truth of the matter is because it actually was they couldn't place it somewhere is I guess we'll never know unless someone tells me directly. But I would never share that if it was off the record, by the way.
For sure.
But
if you think about it, like MullenLowe folded into TBWA, and TBWA has Nissan. So like some of the facts there, like. There was potential conflict. That's probably a big reason.
I know that's this I think has been a story for as long as advertising has been around of holding companies is how do you manage those client conflicts. I think I saw something that was like it's a short-term, short-sighted thing to be like so worried about that. So like in the long run, I think Omnicom is probably thinking like it's okay to lose this account because we know that the power of having all these different creative agencies will make up for it somewhere else. So you can't, it's like if you're going to be a holding company, you can't expect to never avoid conflict. For sure. So, but a situation
especially
where RPA gets the win. RPA
Now it's got Honda and Acura for media and creative on both of those. So RPA feeling pretty good right now.
It's a big time integrated account, and we know that these brands are kind of looking more towards integrating creative and media. We've heard it time and time again. Next story, Gino, Poppi. When I think Coachella, there's a few brands that I think of. I think Poppi's one of those brands.
Absolutely.
That I think of. And Coachella is this weekend. But first, we have a spot here with Jake Shane, influencer. His whole thing, Gino, I think people, for those that maybe don't know, he's got the Therapist podcast. He kind of, I feel like he brings comedy to like the fact that he's very emotionally sensitive. And I think it's hilarious. Like I think he plays it really well, and then they kind of leverage that for this spot.
And people love him. He's got 4 million TikTok followers. He's got 1.6 million Instagram followers, Jack, here. And if we remember Poppi in the Super Bowl, all of this by Miramar here, they brought in for the Super Bowl spot Charli XCX and Rachel Sano, I believe is how you pronounce that name, from I Love LA. So like they're just tapping into Gen Z, and they're doing it with, this is a good play, I believe.
Yeah, they're going hard. They're going hard with it. Vibes, of course, Poppi. And Jake Shane, I think he's so funny. He was under a little bit of heat recently for when he was covering the red carpet. People were freaking out because he's like not a real journalist, and they're critiquing the way that he was interviewing and some of the faux pas that maybe existed. But the internet moves quick, Gino, so people have probably already forgotten about that.
And this target audience probably didn't care. Like they 100%. Weren't a part of the backlash at all. So Poppi's making, it seems like they're doing a big bet on Gen Z, and they're making all the right plays with the right people here.
Unless Poppi is going for the legacy media journalist target audience, this would be a disaster.
Right.
But I think that the person, especially, I'm excited to see where they go from here. I could see Poppi showing up big with Coachella. I'm sure they are in some way. I just haven't seen it yet. But Jake Shane, Poppi makes sense. Done by Miramar. I liked it. Last up, Alysa Liu in Sephora.
Legend. So Alysa Liu did a quick social video here just yesterday. This thing posted. It's got It's got 4.1 million views in one frickin' day. Sephora basically tapped Alysa Liu, really capturing two distinctive brand assets between the two here. The stripes on Sephora's branding, and of course, the stripes on the Olympic gold medalist Alysa Liu's hair itself, Jack.
Yeah, let's see it. I want to get this up because it is hard to speak about it without being able to see it because of how visual it is.
Yeah.
Like her
Very
hair, she's known for this. She's known for the stripes in the hair. She, of course, a figure skater, gold medal winning figure skater this past winter, and just took the nation by storm. Just absolutely adored. I was like, this girl is Electric Avenue. Sephora, we predicted it. We were like, I mean, it's not necessarily a crazy prediction, but Alysa Liu is so ripe for brand partnerships. She's like the most perfectly brand safe person, I feel like. And Sephora wins big here. And they do it in an interesting way.
And this is coming off the heels of another great brand tapping a celebrity / influencer. Just yesterday, we saw Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman winning quarterback, be the chief financial playmaker at US Bank on the LinkedIn video that it speaks to his brand really well. And this capturing the distinctive brand assets of the two. I don't know much about her personal life, if she uses Sephora, if it's like a good match, like beyond just the hair.
Now she does.
Now she does.
Now she does. She loves her stripes. Long gone are the days where you could just plug in a celebrity or an athlete to just hold up a product. You know, it reminds me of the Head and Shoulders Troy Polamalu. Remember that? Remember when his hair would get very voluminous when he was using the Head and Shoulders in the locker room? It reminds me of that. I think it's fun. I am excited for Alysa. She deserves all the money that's coming her way. Sephora strikes first.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. Nicely done. And we're moving on. We're moving into the rest of the show, Gino. Our first story, our first guest to join the show is Jessica Serrano. Jessica Serrano is the CMO of Bagel Brands, which owns, depending on where you are in the nation, kind of like the bagel chain for you. So for us, we grew up in the Midwest. We had Einstein Brothers Bagels. That's how I know the different bagel brand that falls under Bagel Brands. But Jessica spent time at Dig Inn as the CMO, also director of marketing at Taco Bell and Burger King. And now she joins us because most recently, Einstein Bagels had a little broquet. What would you say?
Broquet?
Broquet, that's right. A broquet, aka a bouquet, and a broquet of flowers for men, because there's a stat, I think it's 88% of men don't receive flowers. So they gave a bouquet of flowers, but it was bagels.
It was bagels. Bagel hearts, I believe, Jack, for Valentine's Day. So that was for Valentine's Day, but we're going to bring her on now to talk about that and her vision for the brand. Jessica Serrano, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Jessica, it's a pleasure to have you. First things first, what's your bagel order?
I love the cinnamon with plain schmear, just like that sweet and simple order.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Good question, Jack.
That's how we do it. Well, now that we have that out of the way, I think that was probably burning in everyone's.
Everything bagel, scallion, cream cheese for me.
Really? Bacon. I'm going bacon, egg, and cheese. Everything bagel, toasted.
Solid order.
Yeah, and then I guess follow-up question: toasted versus not toasted.
Oh, toasted all the way.
Yeah, toasted for sure. Well, let's get into it. So we're talking today. The most recent, maybe relevant, exciting things out of the Bagel Brands world is the broquets, the bagels. Let's talk about that. How did it go? And I think it's exciting to get you here now because we can kind of decide, was it a success? How are we feeling about it now?
Yeah, let's decide that together. Okay, so I'm relatively new to the brand, and I joined late last year. And so as I've been getting familiarized with Einstein Brothers and what makes it special, what became really clear to me is this is a brand that doesn't take itself too seriously, plays with food, has a lot of permission to innovate, and has been for many years, for decades even. And so the brand has launched heart-shaped bagels in the past. So last year on Valentine's Day, they offered the heart-shaped bagels. Basically, we take our raw dough, we literally shape them into hearts and bake them fresh in our bakeries on an ongoing basis all day long. And so our longtime guests have known that ritual and love that. But what I realized was that we weren't really telling a story that was breaking through from an own perspective. Like, why should anybody care? A press release that says, you know, Einstein's is bringing back its heart-shaped bagels doesn't speak to why our brand has a point of view and permission to participate in Valentine's Day as we've rebranded it. And so we partnered with our agency friends at Beers with Friends and had them do a sprint with us and helped us to figure out what's our insight, what's our point of view, like why do heart-shaped bagels need to exist. And they shared this insight with us that the majority of men never get a bouquet of flowers in their entire life. And so we shared that as a part of the pitch and realized that we could be introducing the concept of a broquet, which is basically taking heart-shaped bagels, putting them on a stick, and positioning them into our bagel boxes in this beautiful bouquet, wrapped and ready to give to the bro or sis in your life. And this really, really resonated from an earn perspective. We got lots of coverage and were invited to come on and show people how to make broquets. We gifted them to some of our influencer friends to just share the love with them. And in terms of business impact, it was incredible. It drove positive traffic, both in bakery and significant increase on catering. So it achieved two things. It helped us to drive our sales goals, but also reassert our bagel authority, that we're a brand that has a point of view on these cultural moments.
So shall we determine it? Should we stamp it as success?
For me, I have my opinion, but I guess Jessica, the only person that matters of whether or not it's a success is you. Let's do a little thumbs up or thumbs down. Count of three. Was it a success? 1, 2, 3. It's a
two thumbs up.
It's a two thumbs up.
So
brand and traffic, that's the 1-2
brand and traffic, I love it. Let's talk about this a little bit more, brand and traffic, because you're early in your role at CMO at Einstein. So I'm curious, when you took the role, what did you see about the brand that you wanted to change or really focus in on?
Well, there was some research that they had done, and I reviewed this 300-page deck as I was evaluating the opportunity, and there was one page in the deck that made me say I want to take this job, and it was a page that showed our household awareness. So we have about 65% household awareness in the US, and that is a really interesting spot for a marketer because there's still a lot of wood to chop, but you've got a good foundation there. And so I'm genuinely so excited and thrilled at the opportunity to take this brand. It's a brand that has heritage, and usher it into its next chapter of growth. So a lot of legacy, but also a lot of runway to grow this brand.
Oh, okay. So I need to understand, because 65% of all households in the US recognize this brand. That seems pretty good to me. So wait, you want to grow that number to 100%, or are you trying to get more devotion within that 65%? Are those the two strategies? Can you teach me this?
Yes and yes. So to be specific, that's of people that live within a 20-mile radius as well. So as we expand our footprint, we have more opportunity to grow that household awareness. And yes, legacy brands, I come from Taco Bell, Burger King, they have household awareness over 90%. So from a marketer's perspective, there's still a lot of room to grow that. And of course, even within that, driving frequency with our loyal guests as well.
Yeah, the Einstein store experience to me is fantastic. I grew up going to the Einstein in the town over, and it was like a ritual. It was ritualistic.
Was it within a 20-mile radius?
Yeah. It was within 20 miles. Yeah, it was probably only 2.5 miles. But going in there, it was pre-pandemic. It was such a great place to go hang out. I wanted to ask about this from broader perspective, the in-store, in-restaurant experience, balancing that with what I call the DoorDashification of consumer experience. How do you balance that? Because I think we've seen some restaurants or fast food maybe that's just gone all the way in on, okay, we're just gonna be a pickup store pretty much, and we're kind of just gonna focus on that. Where do you see Einstein specifically being positioned within all that?
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned COVID, because I do believe that was a really important inflection point in the restaurant industry, because folks like me that have been in it long before COVID, we got into this business because we love hospitality, and COVID evolved this business into an e-commerce one where you've got to be thinking omni-channel. So it's absolutely a part of our channel mix and a significant one, but we still are really focused on that in-store experience. And when we talk about driving awareness with new guests, my hope and dream is that anytime somebody is joining us for the first time, they're walking into a bakery, seeing all of those beautiful fresh baked bagels in our bagel case, having that full in-store experience with great hospitality, great customer service. And then we become more useful to them by being available through third-party platforms as well. So it's a part of our strategy, but we still are really focused on driving people into the in-bakery experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think because I think that there are some places that went way too far into the just pick up only, and then you just lose all of your. I think you just lose your entire identity. Mm-hmm. I think it makes it really hard to create association, actual fandom when you want to go and sit in the store, but you're swim moving around all the people picking up their orders, and there's not really a good place to sit. So I feel like Einstein, to me, still maintains that. Like, especially, I just think about like breakfast. Mm-hmm. Mornings especially, it's such like a ritual time. If you're going in there in the morning time, it feels like that's kind of how you would want to focus in if you know that people are going to be there in the morning.
Yeah, it's a balance.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm curious then, what's like the clearest articulation of where you want to see the Einstein Brothers Bagels brand in the next 1 year?
My vision is to reassert our bagel authority. We have the lion's share of the bagel business in the US. We've been around for 30 years, and I think we've been a little bit quiet over the last couple of years. And so if I do my job well, you're going to be hearing about us a lot more and being reminded like, oh yeah, Einstein Brothers is a great place to get fresh baked bagel, egg sandwiches, a nice coffee to pair with it. And so just reminding people we haven't gone anywhere and that we're going to continue to innovate into the decades to come.
Gino has a question. I don't know if you can see it, but he's raising his hand.
I'm raising my hand because we're seeing a couple stories of some of these QSR chains like going back to focusing on value and price promotion here. Do you have could we talk about like a strategy or approach for you on like focusing on value or quality or speed? What are your thoughts on this overall for this brand?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned those other attributes because value is not just price point anymore. It's not about the absolute lowest price. It's about what you get for the money. So we're thinking about that full value equation of, do we have absolutely quality, craveable ingredients? Are we giving you a consistent experience, and are we doing it in a way that's speedy? As you mentioned, Jack, breakfast is highly habitual. People need to know that they're going to get what they ordered quickly, correctly, because they're moving on to the next thing. And our job is to make sure that that's seamless and predictable every single time. So yes, we are always thinking about, do we have the right compelling price points at every single entry point? And we'll continue to innovate and experiment with, price pointed value, but we're not going to, be racing to the bottom with that. It's really about making sure that you feel good about what you're getting for what you pay.
Because that can be a slippery slope.
Yeah, going off of that, I have a suggestion. I had something I wanted to pitch you, Jessica, if that's okay.
I'm all ears.
Okay, great. So I've got this, there's a predicament. I think that when I have a bagel, one bagel almost feels like not enough. 2 bagels is way too much. I thought, what if we had a 1.5 bagel option on the menu? Okay. Maybe that's what you get, because that's kind of the issue. What I'd like to do is I'll get my bacon, egg, and cheese Einstein bagel, but then I also like getting the blueberry bagel toasted with cream cheese as like a little dessert. What if we could just get a half of that?
Okay, Jack, this is an insight I've heard before. We did focus groups a few months ago, and I'll never forget this woman said, I get my egg sandwich and then I throw in a bagel to take the edge off later. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think you're onto something there, but 1.5 is that just right in the middle. So I'm gonna take that back.
Follow-up question for both of you on that. Yeah. Is the 0.5, is it like the bottom layer or is it cut in half, like stacked?
No, I would, especially if I'm thinking about the supply chain logistics of it. If you're working at Einstein, I would just do the bottom half. And maybe it's just, you almost do a thing where you just give the schmear on the side. Because I like doing the dip method.
Oh, you're a rip and dip guy.
I like the rip and dip sometimes. So maybe if that's the way to do it, or we create some sort of apparatus that makes it so that the schmear doesn't get stuck to whatever you're packaging it with.
Or you can taco it. You can fold it in half.
We could
But then you got an issue of the top versus the bottom one.
Reactions to all that, Jessica?
My wheels are turning. One, I think getting rid of the top is tough. You get into the like Seinfeld muffin debacle, so we'll have to work through that. But I am working on an innovation that's hunching around the way that you like to eat or experience your bagels, Jack. So I can't say too much about it, but definitely keep your eyes peeled for.
We got a scoop.
That's a
scoop.
It's a scoop. Scoop alert.
Some people scoop out the bagel insides. Too,
Yeah,
right?
some people. Yeah, you go like the bagel light situation.
That's
Not
very LA thing.
Yeah,
Not us.
very, very LA. Not me. I want the bagel in all of its glory.
Full carbs.
Well, Jessica, I appreciate you hearing me out there. A lot of people maybe aren't as receptive as you are to my ideas.
It's a live show, Jack. She can't be rude to you on the live show, so you kind of cornered her.
Turn down a focus group of one.
Right. Yeah. So, it's been a pleasure having you on, Jessica. Really appreciate the time. Congrats on a successful brocade launch with Einstein, and we're excited to see the brand continue to grow and expand the footprint. I have nothing but confidence in you and the team, but thank you for joining the show.
Thanks, it was a pleasure.
That was Jessica Serrano. She is the CMO of Bagel Brands and CMO of Einstein.
It's a fun brand. It's a fun brand to be working on.
It's a fun one. She had a quote. I think we were showing it. It's on the stat sheet that we show that she got into food branding because people got to eat. That's what she says.
People got to eat.
In her LinkedIn bio, she said people got to eat.
Absolutely.
And to me, I think that's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Our next guest here, I'm excited about, Jack. Coachella is it going on right now?
It's starting this weekend, right?
Starting this weekend?
Yeah, Coachella's starting this weekend. So
Coachella is starting this weekend, and Pinterest is activating here at Coachella. We're going to be bringing on the expert. Xanthi Wells is the VP of Global Creative at Pinterest to talk about what they're doing at Coachella. And then Jack and I, of course, are going to talk about the brand and what's going on overall.
Listen, Coachella, I have this, I think every year it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger of like a sensation and footprint. And it is fascinating to me. I'm gonna ask if she thinks that the IRL, like the Coachella, the festivals experiences, are getting more and more and more important. Because I think that it's like there's less monoculture moments.
Right, this is one of them.
I think this is one of them.
This is one of them.
I'm excited for this.
Let's bring her in. Xanthi Wells, welcome to the show.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks for joining us. So in your own words, what is Pinterest doing at Coachella?
So we're doing a no phone activation. So it's we're asking people to check their phones at the door, and then they're going to come in and have this amazing experience where they can make charms, they can get beauty touch-ups, they can take photos, but we'll take the photos. They leave the phones at the door. And it's just going to be this really vibrant, beautiful space. And we think it's hard to create when you're holding a phone. So we want people to actually go make things. And I think that'll really stand out at Coachella.
Yes, it will.
Well,
yes,
I mean, I think the obvious first question is there a concern? I mean, there's not going to be it's going to be hard to get like a social media, like influencers posting about it. Obviously they can't, they're inside. I kind of say that half joking, but like, is that a consideration, or do you all feel like it is that important to create this space at Coachella?
Well, first of all, yes, we think it's that important. And it actually aligns very much with a trend right now, this analog world that Gen Z is trying to chase and experience. And so we're seeing that in our own data. We believe very much that Pinterest is the platform that takes inspiration to reality. So it is part of our own brand. We want you to get inspired, and we want you to get off your phone, get off the platform, and go make things in the real world. And we're not worried about it. I think there's going to be plenty of buzz about the Pinterest activation. And I also think, we're working with a couple influencers, creators that I think are going to do a great job amplifying. We've already got Cat's Eye, did a Pinterest Coachella board, which dropped, which is really cute. I was just on there this morning. And we're working with Quenlin Blackwell, sorry, a little bit of a mouthful, Mickey Gordon. And so those guys are going to be posting all about the activation.
I think this analog awakening, Jack, is something that's fascinating
double A.
to me specifically. I realized my screen time was absurdly high, Jack, at an event that you were speaking at. And so Xanthi, I'm curious, so can we just hover there for a second? Where does Pinterest fit in this analog awakening moment, in your words?
I think that the way that we're different is we believe that life is better experienced off of platforms and making things in the real world. So we're seeing in our own data, we actually saw, there's 260% lift in analog aesthetic. There's 150% lift in search for dumb phone. So we're seeing that on the platform, but we're about to launch a brand campaign, which is all about getting off of Pinterest and getting into the real world. So we're kind of taking a bold stance here, and I can't wait till you guys see it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because, I think that maybe this got across your desk, but we had a Gen Alpha correspondent, Casey Lewis, come on the show, and she talked about how, via her research of speaking with Gen Alpha individuals, most of them are not on other social media platforms. They prefer Pinterest. And that might be shocking to people. I think when you think of other platforms that are very much like video algorithm based, you'd expect the next generation to be iPad kids on their phone just scrolling. Mm-hmm. Is it surprising to get those kinds of viewpoints, or are you all seeing that data as well?
Yeah, we were thrilled to see that report that Gen Alpha is calling Pinterest their favorite platform. They might not be on Pinterest more than, say, TikTok or YouTube, but the fact that it stack ranks higher in terms of love, I think is a really positive sign that our values as a company are also translating. Like, we intentionally create this safe space where people can get inspired, discover who they are, kind of go through this entire journey of learning about themselves through their taste. And I think that's singular. I don't think other platforms can offer that in the same way. We're very much like lean forward, engaged, versus, the constant scroll, the endless scroll, which we're seeing, there's been in the news a lot lately about, how detrimental that is. So we really think it's time to double down on Pinterest's own position in the market, and I think there's going to be a lot to come soon. So you'll see a lot more in that area.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited. Pinteresting.
Pinteresting.
Wow,
Xanthi.
That's good.
Reaction.
What?
Do you have any reaction to Pinteresting?
Oh yeah, well, I'm a Pinployee, and Pinteresting is very good. We have pin sites. We have all sorts of pin puns.
I love that.
Pin and pun are one letter away.
That's right, Jack.
Pinterest. Okay, I'll stop. Sorry about that. I guess I wanted to get your thoughts on this as well. The idea of perception around a social platform, I think, is becoming more and more important. I think you see this trend with media as well, where reach and views and being the biggest in terms of the attention isn't necessarily the most important. It doesn't necessarily lead to actual influence. So I guess, what's your reaction to all that? Do you think that this is something that is only going to happen more and more, where the perception of the platform that you're spending time on will actually end up mattering from the business perspective, especially knowing these lawsuits that have been coming out?
Yeah, I think absolutely. And I think the audiences are different. They're in a different mindset. And for advertisers, obviously, we're an advertising platform. We have a very high intent-based audience. They come to Pinterest to do something. They're going to plan a camping trip. They're going to plan a wedding. They're going to, come up with their festival outfit, whatever it is. They're making something happen. And I don't know that we can say the same things about other more entertainment-based platforms. So I think there is a real differentiator, and I think that the perception does matter and has mattered, and we see that played back all the time.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to understand like some of those interesting case studies through your research and your teams and the focus groups that your teams are a part of. Like, what are some of the most interesting ways that people have decided to go on Pinterest? Like, what are the interesting use cases you've heard of?
Well, one was actually a story we made into one of our spots in our brand campaign a couple years ago. We found someone who was very, very passionate about knitting cat hats. And it was something that we saw and we said, okay, this is really fascinating. We saw a user who made T-Rex toilet paper holders. And then there's also like really beautiful, touching stories where people are planning their grandmother's 80th birthday party. I mean, I think what I love is when I see, Gen Z is now our fastest growing cohort, right? They're over 50% of Pinterest. And they find tremendous value in Pinterest because they're at the life stage where they're building their identity. They're also showing how they care a lot about their community, their friends, their family. And I love to see when they plan birthday parties for people in their family, or they take time to do a collaborative board for a space they're sharing with roommates. Like, there's just so many, I could go on and on. There's so many fascinating use cases. But, in regards just to Coachella, we are seeing, the trends are spiking like year over year. We're seeing this year, it's Coachella outfit ideas are up 465% in search. We've got our Coachella 2016 search term is up 740%. It's all about 2016 and 2026, as we know.
That is fascinating. So is that in regards to like the change in search from last year? It's
Yes.
Wow. Now that's to me that is insane. I feel like that's a massive number if you're thinking about it. Because I figured that people would typically go to Pinterest to look for that inspo. But I guess to stay there for a second, the IRL event marketing monoculture, like having these big moments, is it becoming more important as a marketer? Like, do you think it's trending up, or it's always been this important, but it's just kind of like the trend of the day is to talk about IRL? I want to get your reaction to all of that.
I think it's a cultural shift. I think it's where we've been headed for quite some time, and I think it's reached sort of I guess like a fork in the road almost, where experiential has always been important, but I think it's never been more important than right now, because we're seeing people desperately trying to break free from their phones. Like, they're bricking their phones, they're deleting Instagram, they're doing all these things that just buy themselves more freedom. And when we do activations, like when we activate in Cannes, our manifestival people are so filled with joy. They're just like drinking it in, and you just see that people naturally want to create and make things and be around other people creating. And you got to bottle that in a way. That's like an incredible thing for a brand to be able to provide that. We do it naturally because it fits with our brand. I think a brand has to decide, what is genuinely right for them, the right expression. But I think IRL is definitely where things are headed. I think that's how we're going to reach Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then to your point, like, it might not make sense for every brand to jump in, right? Like, I don't know, it's just because that's what always, where we see, or maybe you might see like a brand misstep, is when they're following a trend and like a format versus following the insight behind it. How do you make sure that the team at Pinterest doesn't fall into that trap?
I think we're always tuning to the particular event and medium and making sure, and we have such rich discussions about the right thing to do. Like, I love my team, I love the marketing team, and we're always debating and going, is this quite right? Or has this been done before? Or how can we make this really stand out and be as beautiful or smart or interesting, engaging as possible. So we set a really high bar, and we try to stick to it.
Love that.
And we try to beat ourselves every time. You know, we don't want to rest on any laurels and just be able to show up and do our thing. So
yeah, you gotta get in the room. You gotta talk. People gotta talk to each other. I think that's an underrated thing. It's like actually beating things around and being like, is this actually going to be good or not? Does this actually make sense versus just going on a whim?
Gotta poke the holes.
Gotta poke
the holes.
Gotta poke.
And I'm going for a scoop here. Going for a scoop
He's
here.
going for the scoop.
Xanthi,
as your representation, before he asks the question, I want you to know you do not have to answer. Do not feel any pressure to answer.
You mentioned Cannes here, and I believe Pinterest is known for, or in the past they've done tattoos at your activations at Cannes here. Can you give us a little hint of what we can expect from Pinterest at Cannes in 2026?
Well, you can go to pinterestcan.com, and we've just launched this week. I just posted about it. We're driving RSVPs right now. It's going to be amazing. It aligns with everything we were talking about. It's going to be, less URL, more IRL is really what we're going for. But the aesthetic and the art direction is something we've never done before. I'm really proud of the team. It's going to look and feel different than our previous manifestivals in the best way. I think it really hits where things are going visually, and aligns with Gen Z. So I could not be more excited, and I can't spoil the activations themselves, but they're also very different than what we've done, and you can still get a tattoo.
Hey, there we
Scoop.
go. Scoop.
There it
Nice
is.
scoop. I'm
Scoop,
down.
there
I'll
it
get a
is.
tattoo. I want just the pin. Just the
Just
pin.
the pin.
Yeah.
Just the pin on the
Pin.
tattoo. I like
There you
that.
go.
Have you? I mean, is it like if you work at Pinterest, you gotta get a tattoo? Is that kind of how it works?
I mean, there's a lot of pressure. I still have no tattoos. I mean, I'm not gonna start
Not
now. And
mandatory.
the problem is, I can't figure out what design I would like the most. Like as an art director, I'm like, there's millions of things I could tattoo on my body, and I'm like, I just can't pick one. And it
Xanthi.
would only probably be one. So
A suggestion. I think Pinterest is a great place for inspiration for something exactly like this. I think there's a lot out there. I see I like the thin line tattoos.
Yeah.
I feel like that might play well with you.
yeah, I would like that. Very elegant.
Yes.
I like it.
I like the
Yeah.
barbed wire around the bicep.
The barbed wire.
That's what I'm
Oh
gonna
my
get.
God.
That's
I
interesting.
should get that. Maybe I'll do a fake one and have people guess whether it's real.
I like that. Love that. Well, we'll be on the lookout for it. We're excited for everything, and congrats. We're excited. I guess, will we see it? Will we not see it? You have to experience it in real life to really get the full experience for Pinterest activation at Coachella. It's phone free, so if you're going to Coachella, go check it out. But Xanthi Wells, VP Global Creative at Pinterest, thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you. And you guys are amazing. I love what you do, and I'm so excited about all the stuff you're making. So just want to say that. Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Xanthi.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That was Xanthi Wells.
Fantastic.
And I don't know if you caught at the end there, she said that she liked what we were making, Gino.
Oh, we're gonna clip that. That's for sure, Jack.
That's getting clipped. Ross is taking care of that for sure.
Absolutely.
Listen, what a show so far. We've had Jessica Serrano, CMO, Bagel Brands.
It's a
We've
great
had
show.
Xanthi Wells, VP Global Creative. Our next story, it's exciting. I'm excited. It's IRL, Gino. It's Goots Gooterman.
Goots, welcome to the show in person.
In person.
Hello.
Be careful. You got your mic
So I'll
right
do
here.
a little, you guys can get set up here. So Goots Gooterman is the co-founder of Byline and also social media strategist at Air. I wanted to frame this episode as Goots is the modern day marketer, like the role model for the modern day marketer. And
Nice. Goots, what do you think about that? Thoughts on that little designation?
I don't really know if I've been called a role model before in a public context, so I'm thrilled.
Of course.
And yeah, that's wonderful.
And obviously your publication Byline is Webby nominated. So first question, can you talk to us in your words, what is Byline?
Yeah, so we say it's like the Paris Review for people who have more than 10 hours of screen time. It's like it's like essays and first-person accounts of the world some profiles, some Q&As, but for the chronically online. It's like thoughtful content for the chronically online.
Yeah, so you go super niche.
Yes.
Like you go it's very much, and it's an expression of the person that's writing it.
Yes.
They're like, so this is, not to get so deep so early, but like.
Let's do it, let's get deep.
Listen, there's like a TikTok guy who does this thing where he goes on these history trips, like with a group history vacation trip, and he's like going to freaking Norway to talk about the Vikings, and it's things that I would never be interested in, but he is super passionate about it.
Yeah.
So I find myself watching these 7-minute TikToks about Norwegian history.
Yeah.
And to me, I think I'm so bullish on the idea of, it's not necessarily about the topic, but it's about the way that the person who's writing about the topic is so excited about it. Thoughts about that?
No, I totally agree. It's like if there's a sense of passion or belief in it, like there's a genuine desire to communicate this thing, I think that's what makes it interesting and makes it really stand out against other things. Like at Byline, we're not really interested in like breaking news. We broke news one time, and I think that was like enough for us.
Yeah, it's just that adrenaline rush. That adrenaline rush.
We did
is
it one
carrying
time,
you.
and that was great. Wait, I need to break the fourth wall. Should I be looking at the camera?
Yeah, you can look at that.
Okay.
I think we split between talking to each other and us. It's
Okay,
like The View. It's like, you know.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love that. Where was I?
The breaking news. You broke news one time.
No, so at Byline, we're not really interested in like breaking news as much as we are in telling interesting stories. And like, yes, sometimes that does involve being the first one to tell those stories,
Right.
but it's like they're not beholden to a sense of time or things like that. Like, I really want these things to like live and breathe outside of an algorithm.
How did you get it started? I'd love to hear a history of it.
Well, before I started Byline, I ran another newspaper called The Drunken Canal that was like kind of all about Times Square, if you're familiar with the concept. It really became like this media storm because I think I have no formal training in journalism or writing or media. Like, I went to art school, I studied sculpture. I thought that's what I was gonna do with my life. Now I work at a B2B SaaS company. But it's great, we love it.
Life is amazing.
Everything's amazing. But I started that just because it was the pandemic and we were bored and we wanted to romanticize our lives. And then we kind of ended that because it didn't feel like it had a lifespan outside of a booming world. And I was like, I'm not ready to stop being an editor, and I don't really want to go work for legacy media. So I just started my own thing.
And so in starting your own thing, and obviously a big part of it is, you have a lot of, bylines, people writing. So how did you start to get the traction to have people wanting to put their stories on the site or work with you or talk about it? Obviously, I'm sure you had some momentum from starting the first publication, but talk to me about kind of like getting early traction and momentum.
Honestly, I think that people were so excited for there to be another or a place for them to submit ideas to that didn't have such an insane barrier to entry like legacy media. Like, so many of the writers we published early on and that we continue to publish are people who, get ignored by a high up editor somewhere because there's just, like the New York Times gets a million pitches. And I think people like genuinely wanted somewhere to tell their stories. And then, we really relied on a community. Like, we have a huge community of readers and writers who want to get their thoughts out into the world and, not be like so edited down to fit the voice of what they're writing for. Like, I think what's really beautiful about Byline is that it really is like the tone of voice depends on the writer as opposed to like an overarching.
Well, this is like the beauty. This is what I kind of hypothesize, or I think is a trend around, where do you actually go to read about what's happening in culture?
Yeah.
And what does that even mean? And I think, from a legacy perspective, there was a few publications that dominated everything when it came to culture, especially around New York. And did you just wink at the?
Yeah.
So, but like I think what is beautiful about Byline is that you can it's a one-stop shop for a bunch of different perspectives about a bunch of different things.
Totally.
So is that a part of the the journey is like figuring that out, that is important?
Definitely. And you know, I co-founded it with my co-founder Megan, who has a lot of experience writing for big publications, and like watched her words be oftentimes like changed or edited in a way that like maybe took away from something that she was trying to say. And that's the experience that a lot of writers have, that a lot of creatives have. And you know, outside of writing, like photographers, videographers, they all kind of have that experience. And so we just, we wanted to make it feel like a home for other people to thrive.
Yeah.
So,
Is there a good example of an article, maybe recently, not to put you on the spot, that you think really encapsulates the Byline?
Let's scroll a little bit, shall we?
This is great.
I know, this is so fun. I love to see this. We published this amazing article recently. If you scroll down a little more, you'll see it. It's Death of a Party Girl. Go up.
Yeah.
Yes. Amazing article. It's about this girl who, you know, went on a journey from being like a party girl, someone who like loved to go out, like talked in specifics about her life, and then totally did a 180, like sobered up, became a careerist. And this article resonated so much with people because I think, you know, also a lot of our readers are kind of getting to the age of like, oh, what are we gonna do with our lives? And so I think this is a great article of like, we let this person talk about her own personal experiences while speaking to like this greater cultural phenomenon of like, we're partying a little less.
Yeah.
Some people.
This is, I feel like it's great. And it says a lot that, you know, someone is willing to share so deeply about their own personal life.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people want to read.
Yeah.
They want to read
I
that.
truly think so.
Why do you think you're able to get so many features and so many bylines and people willing to contribute to the publication?
That's a really good question. I think that that's another really good article. Is this the Am I Too Horny or Too Aligned? That one's really good. That was really good. Yeah. Another banger.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Everyone should go read that one. I think that we like handle these things with a lot of care and passion, and like, you know, we, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to diminish the work that we're doing, but we are like a gaggle of girls doing this thing. And I think that that's why people really like it. It's like, you're contributing to real people and real people are reading it. And, you know, it's a very honest exchange between everybody.
I love it.
The concept of new media.
Yeah.
Can we talk about it? Because I feel like this is new media before new media started to become something that people were like obsessed with. But what are your thoughts around how people are consuming their news or getting information, and how it's changed over the lifespan of your experience with building these media companies?
Yeah, I think that like we're in a really interesting point in media where the middle tier is kind of dying out. Like, you either have big legacy publications buying out other big publications like that are their competitors, or you have like the indie projects. And I feel like I've, in my course of the media world, and you know, it's funny because I'm like totally not an expert, and that's why I love it so much. Like, I consume it. I am just like a fan of this stuff and not an expert. But I watched like the middle tier get eliminated because it either wasn't sustainable or other publications came and bought them up. But I think it's really interesting because it gave a lot of room, like, you know, that's obviously not great, but like the upside is that it gave a lot of room for like indie publications to thrive and for these bigger legacy publications to, you know, look at what the real people are doing and kind of adopt those practices. And like, you know, like we're watching like New York Times staff writers have to start doing reels and like, and I can't help but think that that's because like, sure, everyone's watching reels, but also like they want people to feel like there's a person behind it.
So I'm curious then, like from the marketing perspective of the the publication, are you focused on that? Do you care about growing it as much as possible? Are you doing initiatives like this to get more awareness for Byline?
Yes and no. Like, obviously, I have big dreams and high hopes, but I also, we want it to be the best version of itself where it is right now. But obviously, like, we want it to grow too. So it's a little bit of both. Like, I think all of our marketing is very organic. We do love to like partner with brands, and that's like what really gets us going and helps us. That's like what really helps us expand.
Right.
Is that. But
The brand partnerships, got it. And
Yeah.
how can brands activate with you?
like literally in a million different ways. It's so bespoke. It's so
Just say you're interested and you'll figure something out. Could
Yes.
it be like events? Like is it like ads on the actual site? Like how could it range?
It could be events, it could be ads on the site. We've like commissioned sculptures like that we like put in public places. Like
Cool. Yeah.
It's literally anything. There's like advertorials, like you can, sponsor a cover. It really depends on like what someone is trying to do and like what story is like the brand trying to tell, because I think that's like, and how does it fit in with what we're trying to tell?
100%. The idea of what you were saying earlier, where you're either as big as possible to get the most amount of reach, or you're so niche down that, that you can actually identify who your audience is clearly. Like that's what the value is. I mean, I think for us, like we're trying to be in the side that's, we're speaking to a very specific niche.
I think it's really powerful to know exactly who you're talking to.
Right.
And like that's the fun of it.
Because then you create everything that comes from Byline is now naturally going to resonate with the audience because you know who the audience is.
Yeah.
You know exactly who you're talking to, and it's not just going to be like slot in the middle of in the sea of just randomness.
Yes, exactly.
That's interesting. I want to talk about being Webby nominated. So Byline is Webby nominated. Go
Yep.
vote now.
Go vote now.
You're going up against one of the competitors is the National Gallery of Art.
I was like, great.
When you see Byline next to the National Gallery of Art, what is the first thing that goes through your head?
That I really hope all my friends vote. But also it's like really an honor to be up against them. Like it's probably one of the most famous museums in the country, if not the world. And I'm like, well, maybe they'll be a little interested in Byline. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, listen, that association is unbelievable.
Yeah.
My National Gallery of Art is Byline.
That's
Oh
right.
my God,
let
thank
me
you
just-
so
let me
much.
just put that out there.
Honestly, let's clip that for Byline.
I love
Slow
that.
mode, zoom.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
We know our audience is advertising and marketing professionals, and I think like they're going to value your opinion, and I want to get a look inside your mind for them. I mean, like, how do you decide if something is worth making? Like, what's your taste? What is your filter?
Right. I think what it stems from is there's a few things. Like one, something is worth making if someone has like a genuine desire to make it, and that kind of comes like in the whole Byline ethos, where like I'm a little less concerned with like an endless stream or like something being quote unquote timely. Like obviously we want it to be timely, but I think has to stem from like a genuine desire to talk about the thing, and then also like, is it interesting? Like, is it niche? Is this story unusual in some way, shape, or form, or is it a personal experience that like speaks to something like broader in culture? And I think like one thing about me and my co-founder is like we're such like deep thinkers. We're like we're always trying to get to the bottom of something, and that's not to say like there can't be like humor or irony or satire involved in these things, but like what is this thing saying about culture as a whole, even if it's in little tidbits is I think what makes something worth making to me. Like, does it have a meaning outside of itself?
The idea of taste is so prevalent right now, especially with AI. You know, you can you can create content for 0 cents. But the taste is like the thing that matters. Like if you decide what to make is really what's going to be the difference maker. I have a thought of when it comes to taste in kind of what you're saying, where it is very much gut.
It's gut.
I don't think people look all the time for ways to like get taste, or like how do I make taste get better at having taste. I don't think that I think to each person it's a different experience.
Yeah.
Not to get
but we got into her mind though,
Rick Rubin.
To think about like these pieces that you are like approving, like they're so weirdly specific to a human experience.
Yes.
So fine point it seems like that it actually is universal or could be applied in a more macro sense.
That's exactly it, Gino. Thank you so much.
The only way to actually be able to distribute that in a way that's like fun and cool is that the person that's making it has to be passionate and has to have the gut feeling that like this matters. This deserves.
What would you
my
write
time.
about, Jack?
What would I write about?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. This is great because I have a Substack.
Do you want to plug it?
No, because I it's for funsies and it's specific. I would write about solo dining. Like
That's great.
We
We had a column with Kareem called Table for One, where he would go solo dine at places.
Wow.
Damn it.
He thinks of everything. What does that say about what can we learn from your experience with solo dining, Joe?
Oh my gosh, I think it's cathartic. I think it's because to me it's one of the few places where I go by myself and I actually feel like I need to take out my headphones. So it forces you to be there in the moment. I think especially these days where I walk around with headphones in all the time. I'm rarely ever focused on the things that I'm actually doing. I'm focused on scrolling or something else. So the solo dining experience, sitting at a bar, chicken parm, don't even want to talk to anyone. I just want to like actually enjoy the experience.
Do you think this is the solution for you not having a basketball, like a pickup basketball league of some sort? Because you found a lot of like presence in basketball. I feel like that could be a substitute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goots, what do you think?
Well, I think I love to talk to strangers, and I'll talk to like almost anyone. And so I like solo dining because it just gives me an opportunity to like, it's kind of like the opposite. Like I'm going there and I'm seeking. I'm like, who am I going to talk to? Like, what is the waiter going to tell me about their life? And I do think that like my desire for a stranger's story really feeds into like what I find good and like what defines my taste. Yes.
Way to bring it back.
That
was a curious professional strategist.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I find so much inspiration in just like the day-to-day and the mundane and like what is everyone talking about? Who's going out and where are they going out to, and like, you know, who can I converse with at the bar at this party? And so like solo dining to me is just like a way to do that without having someone to be concerned about.
Last question. I want your opinion on this. Distinguishing getting like one person's perspective and not accidentally making that be a broader thing than what it is. So like you can get like someone's personal experience, but a lot of times people will fall in the trap like, oh, I talked to this one person this one time that is on Snapchat all the time.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily always gonna be like a trend that everyone experiences. Is it like in classic journalism where like you need 3 sources to confirm a story to make it seem like a trend?
Oh my God. Like that's a really good question. I think 2 is a trend.
2 is a trend?
I think 1 is a manifestation and 2 is a trend. Like,
and 3 is culture.
Yes, and 3 is culture. Yes. So I don't.
4 is an epidemic.
Yeah. 4 is a problem.
4 is chuggy. 4 is chuggy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So.
I like that. Okay, so if you talk to 2 different people, especially like I could see like time constraints too, like 2 people in the same day that both talk about
in the same parameters, like proximity of like neighborhood of some sort, or
demographic too matters.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting down to
or
it.
even just like are they on the same, like if I'm seeing them on my feed, they're on the same algorithm. So
sure.
what is that?
Yeah, that's got to be great too, because like if someone talks about something very niche and it gets a ton of traction online, clearly
Yes.
it feels like a universal experience.
Totally. And I think we kind of carry that strategy over, like we carry that over to Byline. I carry it over to Air.
Right.
Like what is happening in culture that is interesting to a tech audience / what is happening in culture that's interesting to a creative audience.
Love it.
Money.
That's Goots. Goots,
Goots, ladies and gentlemen.
What a pleasure. Thanks for coming into the show.
Byline
Thank
on
you
the
so
Webbies.
much for having me.
Yeah.
We're having an event on Tuesday, April 14th. It's a 5-word reading because if you win a Webby, you can only give a 5-word acceptance speech. Jack is reading, Gino should.
Yep.
And you can find the details on Byline's Instagram.
Check out Byline's Instagram. That's Goots. Goots, thank you so much. Hands in.
Thank you so. Oh my
Goots on
God.
three. 1, 2, 3. Goose.
Goose. Oh my God. Thank you.
All right. Be careful. Don't trip.
What if
Don't
I just
trip.
ruin everything on my way out?
That would be fine. We can fix that.
Thank you guys. Seriously so much.
Thank you, Goots. Goots, that was Goots, and that was the show.
What a
was the
show.
show. Oh, here it is over, Gina.
Good show today.
Thoughts on the show, instant reaction.
I thought it was so clean. We had a great slate of guests, Jack.
Great
I mean,
slate.
perhaps one of the best slates we've ever had here.
I-
Jessica Serrano, CMO of Einstein Brothers Bagels. Xanthi Wells, VP of Global Creative at Pinterest. Goots Guterman, co-founder of Byline, social media strategist at Air, Jack.
These are the kind of things, this gets me riled up. This is what gets me excited. You hit a lot of different topics. My vision, my goal, my hope is that someone watches this whole episode and they get everything. They get so many different nuggets of wisdom from people in different spaces of marketing. You know,
Yes.
I think it was a great lineup. My favorite part was probably getting Jessica Serrano to say that 1.5 bagels.
That was
great.
I was literally just gonna say that too.
Obviously,
I found it interesting. Who was the blueberry bagel guy? Was that you?
Yeah. Of the virtual guests, of course, my favorite IRL guest was Goots.
Oh, well, she's still
and
here.
She's
in
still
the
here,
room.
so I need to make sure that she hears that.
Yeah.
Goots is my favorite guest, for sure. Yeah.
I
she's
thought
doing
Xanthi
jumping.
was amazing as well. My favorite guest, Jack.
There you go.
got 'em all.
Listen, that's the week. That's the show. Stick around if you want to sit in on the post show.
Yes.
But if you're only
Bonus.
here for the marketing news, then you can walk away. Do not watch the rest of this.
Yep.
Because we're gonna get into the post show. We're gonna talk about our weekend plans. Here we
Weekend
go.
plans. Anybody want to start us off here? Ellie, Ross, Quincy, JR, Jack. Who's got some fun plans here? I got something for you too later.
Ellie.
Ellie.
I didn't
Oh,
hear about.
Mike's not on.
Hold up.
Oh, here we go. So-
I did something.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So MoMA has free Friday tickets. I think it's like for New York residents from like 5:30 to like 8 p.m.
Okay.
I got 2 for free. So
Whoa.
they're free tickets. So I got 2. So I'm hoping to bring a +1 if you know what I mean.
And when is this?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. What time?
It starts around 5:30.
So at 5:30, you're going to MoMA. You have 1 extra ticket.
Yep. All right, who's talking now?
No, you got it. You have way more interesting.
Do you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I feel like people listening should also probably understand what you're saying as well.
I gotta find somebody to bring.
Do you
If
have
not,
to get
you
2
are going.
tickets? Do you have to
no,
get 2
no,
tickets?
I opted
you
for
just
2.
opted. You decided to get 2 tickets.
Yeah, a little pressure on.
But didn't you do something with that? Like
I made a
Logan?
yeah. I try to put pressure on myself.
I take this. I use this when it comes to us making content or doing things. It's just let's just say that we're doing it. Let's put the
Yeah.
promos out that it's happening.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure it out.
Build
Build
say
it and they will
then
come.
Say it and then build it and then they will come.
Yes. Ross, go ahead.
I have a flight tonight.
Oh.
Going to Copenhagen.
Nice.
Let's
what are you
go.
doing in Copenhagen?
It's a work trip.
It's a work trip.
Yes.
Explain.
Yes. I'll be covering content about the advertising industry and the future generations over the next 10 days, doing a little mini doc, if you will, and some shorts and other
Copenhagen.
social
What's
content.
the ad scene in Copenhagen? What's your prediction? What's your hypothesis?
My hypothesis is they've got a unique Scandinavian culture going on that's breeding a lot of the awesome creative I've seen coming out of the DMJX school, but also there's a lot of great agencies in the Copenhagen region.
Copenhagen.
So is this
correspondent.
just like a glaze fest of Copenhagen? I'm trying.
We'll see. Well, I mean, I don't know yet, but the work I've seen, that Yeah, we'll see. But it's been some great work coming out of the city there.
Well, to me, so is it it's like the junior scene of Copenhagen? Is that kind of?
Yeah, I mean the student work has been insane out of the DMJX school, but then also a lot of the agencies there are killing it, like NordDDB, Worth Your While, a few other agencies in the.
So you're
area.
doing, it's like a little bit of like an anthropology, like a little
It
bit
is,
of
yeah.
Ross.
I can't wait.
Copenhagen.
Yeah, always speaking with the professors, the students, and then also I think 3 or 4 different agencies there.
So you get like the culture of advertising there, starting with the feeder school, how that trickles into the larger industry.
So I'll talk like to the leaders, what they're looking for in students, because they've had interns and junior hires a lot of the DMJX students. So like what they look for specifically and how certain students can stand out with like all the AI stuff that's going on lately, all the junior jobs cut. So it'll be insightful, I think.
And what are some of the? Do we know what the outcome of this thing is going to be? Is it going to be like
Deliverables or?
Yeah. What are you going to?
Yeah, there'll be a 20-minute YouTube video style,
Nice.
and then a bunch of shorts that come out of it.
When can people expect? When are we going to get this?
Timeline TBD, but I'm thinking no, I'm thinking like mid-May would be a nice release date.
Mid-May.
Yes.
So
Is
Is that like
mid-May.
hiring season? Yeah, that's like when people are looking for jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
Mid-May.
The
Ross,
sooner the better, but
Ross, I just ate a yawn. Ross will be
Thank you for the transparency.
diving into Copenhagen.
I can't wait. Copenhagen
yeah.
correspondent.
How long is that flight?
Well, it's split up into 2. I have a layover in Reykjavik, so I think it's like 6 hours
Is
and
that
then
Iceland?
2 hours. It's Iceland, yeah.
Iceland.
So
You gotta get the hot
yeah,
lava
Gino
bread.
recommended to me some of the volcanic bread.
They put the bread
careful.
in the dirt.
yeah,
careful.
I gotta let it cool down first.
Yeah, you do. Well, we're excited. You know, I think it's worth noting.
We're gonna miss you, Ross.
That we're paying for this. We're paying this kid to go to Copenhagen, which to me is ridiculous. But I'm excited for you.
Thank you, bosses, for paying for this.
Well,
it's a
thank
great
you
place
in
to work,
advance.
right?
Thank you in advance for the content, the amazing content that's going to be created.
And I want to note also for everybody watching the stream, it might be a little different next week because we got JR running the show.
So if there's any, that's a good way to cover yourself.
I just want
if there's any mess ups,
yeah, I want to cover that.
We need everyone to know that it's
Unless
not
it's
you.
the best show. What happens if it's like
Yeah.
an amazing
Well, if it's
show?
the best show, I'm going to take credit because I'm
Smart.
you know,
Smart, Ross.
leading JR into this. It's like,
Yeah, you might get Wally picked.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. And if you're watching this, if you want to support Ross being able to go on these awesome trips and excursions, watch the footage, watch the content when it comes out, share it with friends, and we'll be able to do more of this. But I'm excited. You know, pressure's on for Ross, I would say.
He can handle it. He's great.
I can handle
But excited for good, safe travels. Safe travels. Ellie, anything from you?
No, I got nothing.
Did you enjoy?
We
the
might have
show?
to go MoMA. I got an extra MoMA ticket.
Okay, I'll go with you if you can't pull off your your situation.
Okay.
I'll go with
Yeah.
you.
No, that's
All
right.
right, there you go. There you
All
go.
right,
I would be happy to.
Ellie's, you got the backup.
Wonderful.
Wait, I don't like that.
I didn't say that.
I mean, let's
That
call
was
it what
Jack.
it is. Let's call it. It's clearly he's.
What the MoMA has the Campbell soup, right? With Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
It's like a good advertising trip.
Yeah.
We would have to.
And,
like a good advertising
and,
film
Ellie, take a
trip.
video of that.
What did Sanan say yesterday? Is it Kikkoman?
Yeah,
is
Kikkoman
Is it in the MoMA?
The MoMA.
Oh right.
The,
Wow.
the bottle.
Interesting.
It's a good little advertising branding trip.
Maybe I'll just go. Anyway.
Yeah, I got tickets for
No,
it.
Ellie, I think you are inherently the backup because if Gino just got the tickets, he would have just said, "Hey, Ellie, want to go? Do you want to come with me to the museum?"
I just
said
don't.
that. I
I
just
just
said
don't
that.
like. I just don't like that. I just don't like being your backup.
That's fair. That's fair.
Don't like
So-
it.
Hey,
Hey.
that's fair.
Hey. Well, the Masters is this weekend. I'll be watching. I think I might watch some of that. I actually don't know if I will. I don't know if I have access to be able to watch it, but then this weekend it's
At a
dealer's
bar?
choice.
Where are you gonna
Dealer's
watch?
choice. Maybe watch it at a bar. But
What time is it? Like a morning thing?
it goes in the afternoon. It goes in the so like Saturday is a great day to watch it. You know, afternoon enjoyment. But I'm mostly looking forward to the social content that comes from the Masters.
You said they do a great job. I'm gonna have to check their social accounts.
One of the great like early AI was IBM's Watson integration with the Masters. Like probably like a decade ago. They were like
predicting who would win the Masters.
no, like analytics,
Oh,
stats, breakdowns, hole by hole, advanced statistics.
I love
It was
that.
like early AI, but it was
Yeah.
IBM Watson integrating in the Masters. It was like one of the first times anyone had done that.
When
And now
Watson
it's-
beat the chess master, I was like, this is it. We're
This
done
is it.
for.
This is it. IBM is looking for a new agency.
Yes, they are. They ended their 50-year relationship with Ogilvy.
Well, that was the show.
32-year, sorry.
That was the show. Thank you, everyone. That is the end of our week. We will be back on Tuesday. Breaking and entering show, marketing news, live show on LinkedIn, YouTube, X. You can watch this show on YouTube.